Vader, Ursula, Thanos, Gollum, that one guy from Die Hard. Everybody loves a good villain, and there's a reason why players are always so drawn to playing them. It's because being bad is just so much fun. You already know what's about to happen to this fucking guy.
Bye.
But it's certainly not for everybody. In a game like Baldur's Gate 3, if you're gonna attempt to unleash your villain arc, you better be ready for everything that comes packaged with it. This game will test the limits of even the most diabolical players.
Bill responds by grabbing the tongs and yanking the nail from the prisoner's thumb.
You didn't have to do that part.
I'm here to examine whether this evil juice is even worth the squeeze. Hopefully, by the time this video ends, you'll have an idea of whether you want to go into Baldur's Gate as a triumphant hero, or reduce it to scorched earth as its newest baddie. Ever since the concept of playing a good guy or a bad guy was introduced in the early days with classics like Knights of the Old Republic and Fable, most gamers, if given the chance, will be tempted to tap into that darker side, even if sometimes that dark side isn't all that glamorous.
Do you chase chickens?
Chicken chaser. Chicken chaser? Chicken chaser.
Chicken chasers.
For an addict like me, I take the opportunity of being able to play both good and evil characters as just another excuse to play through this game multiple times. I might be a little bit biased here since I enjoy this game so much, but I think everybody should try to play through Baldur's Gate 3 at least once as every single alignment to get that full experience. In an attempt to complete this challenge myself, I've had to do my fair share of evil runs, and I've gotta say, I don't think this is going to be for everyone. Here's a few reasons why you might want to reconsider going that chaotic evil route.
It's like this speech is either like super rousing and awesome or really sad.
Yeah, it's a little on the sad side right now.
It really is.
It almost brings a tear to my eye.
You may try to avoid it, but you either die a hero or live long enough to become a murder hobo. If you decide one day that you want to slay literally every NPC in the game, there isn't really anything stopping you. Except for Withers. Do not try to hurt Withers.
Thy accuracy would be lauded. Have you to purpose?
Almost every dialogue in the game has the option to just attack in the event that you get bored with the conversation. Put your swords away. Before you get too excited,
Zell, holy shit.
you need to understand that this game will punish you if you decide to wipe out the entire population. And rightly so. What kind of bad guy just kills everyone? You'd have no one left to torment. If you kill all the vendors in this game because you think it's easier to loot their treasure than it is to haggle for it, my god, look at all this shit. You're gonna quickly realize that there is now no one willing to buy all the shiny gear that you just paid the iron price for. In fact, this game will start to feel extremely empty once you start offing everyone that blinks in your general direction. Worry not, you'll be able to scratch that murderous itch. The developers were kind enough to sprinkle in plenty of unbearable NPCs that are just begging for you to cut them down.
Smells funny when you burn, huh? Screams real good, too.
Larian has also just announced an origin option specifically tailored for all you psychopaths out there. Choosing the Dark Urge origin at the beginning of the game will unlock a special, extra evil, extra gruesome storyline in which you try to fight off or embrace your dark urges to make the whole world bleed. When I say bleed, I do mean that in a literal sense. Your character will have a very particular kind of obsession.
Blood. 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 Blood.
Let's not kid ourselves. We're all gonna try hyper evil mode at least once. Just keep in mind these words of warnings from the game's creators.
Dark side of Baldur's Gate 3. There's many dark sides on it. Not for the meek of heart, just warning you. It goes very brutal. It can go very, very, very brutal when you play Dark Urge, but it's just the game living up to the choice and consequences of your choices. You can always resist, so whenever you go somewhere, it was your choice to go there.
Being evil is all about balance and showing restraint when necessary. You can do that, right?
Exquisite carnage.
Is she okay?
Let's say instead that you're more drawn to a neutral evil kind of villain arc. The kind of villain that only commits light genocide. And only because they got caught stealing from the wrong goblin.
Choose your next step
Bro.
wisely.
You're a goblin raider. Why are you stopping me? Who are you? Shoo. You don't have to be a mass murderer to justify putting evil on your resume. There are plenty of dialogue options in this game that won't end in immediate bloodshed. Just be prepared to be a dick sometimes. Even a scoundrel like me found it hard to select some of these dialogue options.
Go on, Will. Torture the fellow.
You can be so rude in this game, which is mostly fine since a lot of the NPCs are rude right back to you.
Your twat's old friend there caused a rockfall. Trapped tighter than a
Twatsoul.
It's kind of fun when you find someone who's down for some back and forth shit talking.
Just shitting around.
Just be careful you get a good read on them before you say something that could turn the entire camp against you. If you plan on being the kind of evil person that verbally abuses everyone that you cross paths with, this is a great chance to spend some quality bonding time with the little illithid tadpole growing inside your brain. A lot of mean yet undeniably fun dialogue in this game lets you use your little worm buddy for a 99.9% chance of success.
I'm gonna tell this chick to kill herself. Are you serious?
Certainly.
Yes, there is a non-zero chance that you'll probably become a mind flayer if you embrace this power too much. But don't cry. I'd still love you if you were a worm. Okay. So you don't want to be a murder hobo, and you're not too keen on being a dick to everybody just because you can. Sounds like you might be steering towards a more lawful evil path. Though one of my favorite types of evil, this one is certainly the hardest to roleplay in-game. Paladins, clerics, and druids get a lot of really awesome dialogue options when the time is right. But to pull this type of evil playstyle off as a non-divine class could be a little tricky. When creating your character, rather than just selecting a race and a class that combo nicely with each other, I recommend sparing some thought into what kind of character you want to play.
Traitor! The blade now comes for you.
So that's Will's breaking point.
Against your own people?
You're also the tiefling? Dude, that's so fucking rad.
What laws and codes are you going to uphold? Do you wait until someone crosses a line before turning violent? Or are you loyal to your people and your people only?
Tell him, true soul.
I was saying nothing.
It's the kind of evil that requires you to avoid getting bad guy tunnel vision and saving your dark deeds for the appropriate time. But come on, are they really considered dark deeds if your actions are justified? Baldur's Gate 3 is the furthest thing from two-dimensional, so to label your character a single shade of good or evil would be almost impossible. I'm certain that the dialogue and characters in this game will continue to challenge the morals of every player. A good RPG has you questioning what side you're really on at the end of the day. Is it worth it to be evil? Well, who's to say you have much say in the matter? There's infinite ways to enjoy this game, and there's certainly no right or wrong way to play it. I just hope that now you have a bit of a clear idea of what kind of adventure you want to lead when the game launches. If you decide you want to burn Baldur's Gate to the ground, let me know. I want to hear all about it. From a safe distance, of course. Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you so much to everyone that's already subscribed to the channel. Your support has me endlessly motivated to keep making content for you all. Stay tuned for more in the coming weeks as the game release is just around the corner. I simply cannot wait.
Yes! Love when they cry, love when they bleed. Delicious.